In today's globalized world, where economic power is distributed among several centers of power, the idea of the dominance of a single currency seems less and less convincing. Two giant economies, India and China, have decided to challenge the hegemony of the US dollar and switch to settling import transactions in national currencies. This unprecedented agreement reached by two influential members of the BRICS group marked a new era in the quest to reduce dependence on the US dollar and Western financial systems. The BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, has long advocated for a more balanced and fair global financial architecture. Under the terms of the deal, 50% of the Maldives' new $1.5 billion import contract will be paid in Indian rupees and Chinese yuan. This is equivalent to about $750 million that will be held in local currencies, significantly reducing the need to use the US dollar. The main objective is to reduce dependence on a currency that has dominated international trade for decades. By switching to settlements in local currencies, India and China are seeking to strengthen their economic sovereignty and protect themselves from the risks associated with dollar fluctuations. The move offers significant economic advantages. The use of local currencies will reduce transaction costs by eliminating the need for conversion with its commissions and exchange rate risks. It will also increase the stability of bilateral trade by reducing the impact of dollar volatility on the value of imports and exports. The Maldives is playing a key facilitator role in the agreement, emphasizing its growing importance in regional trade processes. Maldives Minister of Economic Development Mohammed Said confirmed that historic agreement, noting the country's proactive stance in strengthening ties with the region's giants. The de-dollarization of economies is part of a larger strategy by BRICS countries to reduce the global role of the US dollar. The desire to reduce dependence on US monetary policy, which has a major impact on dollar-based economies, is at the heart of these efforts. Within the BRICS, steps are already being taken to create alternative financial institutions, such as the New Development Bank, designed to finance infrastructure and environmental projects using national currencies. For India, the agreement opens up opportunities to expand trade ties with China, its largest trading partner. Settlement in rupees will help reduce currency risks and strengthen the international status of the Indian currency. This will lead to greater stability in import costs and allow Indian businesses to plan their finances more efficiently. For China, the use of the RMB in international trade is an important milestone in its long-term strategy to build up the global role of its national currency and reduce its dependence on the dollar. The yuan's growing presence will strengthen China's financial clout and advance its trade interests with India. One key impact could be a reduction in demand for the dollar. Given the scale of trade between India, China, and the Maldives, the abandonment of dollar settlements will lead to a significant reduction in dollar-denominated transactions. This will weaken demand for the US currency, which will impact the global foreign exchange market, the value of the dollar, and its status as a major reserve currency. The India-China agreement is likely to set a precedent for other BRICS countries and nations wishing to diversify their currency basket in international trade. Successful implementation of this model could encourage other countries to pursue similar trade deals, leading to a more diversified global financial system. However, there are concerns about the immediate effects on the economies of the countries involved. One of the main concerns is the possible increase in currency volatility and exchange rate spikes for the rupee and yuan. The shift to settlements in national currencies mirrors new currency risks. In addition, conducting transactions in national currencies is fraught with risks of trade imbalances and non-payments. If imports and exports between India and China become very different, this will lead to growing deficits and surpluses in the balance of payments, which will negatively affect business confidence and trade flows. Despite the potential difficulties, experts' reactions to the agreement are generally positive. Many believe it will strengthen India-China economic ties, expand bilateral trade, investment, and create new jobs. In addition, the agreement is seen as a step towards regional integration in South Asia and the Asia-Pacific. Analysts believe that the switch to national currencies will help India, China, and the Maldives diversify foreign exchange reserves, reduce risk exposure, and strengthen financial resilience to external shocks. At the same time, the move raises geopolitical tensions. By challenging the dominance of the dollar, the two largest economies are weakening the power of Western financial systems. The US, whose currency reigns supreme in global payments, is likely to perceive this as a threat and respond with resistance, up to and including sanctions. It is important to realize that the agreement between India and China to abandon the dollar in import trade represents a significant shift in the global economic system and challenges the traditional dominance of Western financial institutions. While the move may enhance economic sovereignty and financial stability for the two giant economies, it also raises serious concerns for Western powers, especially the US. The dollar has long played the role of the world's main reserve currency, and any threat to its hegemony is likely to be met with fierce resistance from Washington and its allies. One should not rule out the possibility of imposing economic sanctions or other restrictive measures against India, China, and other countries that have joined the de-dollarization process. The US may see this as a direct attack on the global financial system it dominates and respond accordingly. However, the agreement also has far-reaching implications for the BRICS group and its goals of creating a more balanced global economic order. The success of this initiative may inspire other developing countries to reduce their dependence on the dollar and strengthen their national currencies. If more nations follow the lead of India and China, it will further diversify the global monetary system. Instead of the dominance of a single reserve currency, international trade and finance could be dominated by several key currencies representing different economic centers of power. Such a multipolar monetary world would certainly be more balanced and fairer for developing economies, which would no longer be dependent on the monetary policies of a single superpower. However, the transition to this new paradigm is likely to be accompanied by a period of instability and tension in geopolitical and trade and economic relations. It is also important to note that an agreement between India and China could have significant implications for energy markets and oil and gas trade. Much of these transactions have traditionally been denominated in US dollars, and a shift away from the dollar could lead to major shifts in this area. Overall, despite the potential difficulties and risks, the India-China initiative marks an important milestone in the gradual shift in global economic power. While the process is likely to be long and complex, it paves the way for a more equitable and inclusive economic system where developing countries play a more prominent role. We hope you enjoyed this video and the analysis of this topic. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell so that you don't miss new videos about the most important economic and geopolitical events in the world. We wish you success and all the best. See you soon.